Hi guys, good morning to all of you. Once again, I am here for us to look into another interesting topic on Know Your Right as a Power Consumer. The day for yesterday, I treated a topic on how we are going to minimize um, our consumption, and I mentioned certain gadgets like ironing, deep freezers, and the rest. So today we are going to continue with another interesting topic on Know Your Right as a Power Consumer. But before I do that, I received a message, a very good message. Normally I have a lot of them, thousands of them, but some of them are very important that at times I have to select some of them and then we discuss about it because they are very, very important, and maybe that is what a lot of people are thinking. A lady sent me a message this morning, and she was like, Mr. Adams, I like your program, and I have a problem, and it's like a question, but I would like to say that I live in a compound house where the people living in the Chima in Hall are paying less than widows who are living in a single room. Listen, Mr. Adams, the problem I have is that I live in a single room. My other tenants, they live in Chima Hall. But at the end of the month, the bill they send to me is more than those staying in the Chima Hall. That is very, very interesting. That is very, very interesting. I will not begrudge the woman because she is looking at the size of the building, the size of the room, the number of people staying in the room. But it doesn't work like that. That is why I want us to actually look into it and then let's discuss it. Now, it is not only this lady who thinks like that. A lot of customers are also thinking the same. I have done field investigation for over 11 years, and I have the opportunity to interact with almost 500,000 customers throughout the period of my 11 years as a field investigator. But most of the problems that customers complain a lot, electricity customers complain a lot, is when they contact me or when they come to me, oh Adams, I've been to the office and they said I should call you, I should see you. What is the problem? My bill is too high and I don't use anything. I am in a single room. I come and see my room is small. I'm not staying in a full house. It's not a factory. It's not this. It's not a company. It's not that. This is most of the complaints that are coming. It is about my bills are high, but I don't use anything. My room is small and so and so. So I wasn't surprised when this lady sent me this message. But if you are watching or you are going to watch the video later, this is the answer. I know a lot of people are also watching. This is the answer that I'm going to give. A very precise answer. So everybody must take a note. Must take note and be able to understand the explanation that I'm going to give. Now, electricity consumption does not necessarily mean that you have to have a big house to pay a big or to pay high bills. No, it doesn't work that way. It is power consumption. So when it comes to power consumption, the size of the building doesn't matter. One thing customers doesn't know well, or one thing customers are not aware, is that they don't think about the gadgets that they have in the room, not the building, not the four walls of the building that determines your light bill. What determines your light bill is the gadgets in your room, the gadgets in your apartment. So now, let's say, like what the woman is saying, she lives in the single room. There's another tenant that have Chimay Hall, another one to Chimay Hall. But anytime the bills come, her bills is more than, her share of the bill is more than those in the Chimay Hall. I am not saying there might not be Kululu in this, but to be sincere with you, looking at it professionally, it is possible. It is possible that those in the chamber and hall are not consuming much. Maybe they don't have anything. They don't have. They use fan. They use. They don't have this high consuming gadgets. Maybe some of them they use fan. They use maybe normal fridge. They use fan, LED television, and the rest. But maybe you the one in the single room. Maybe what are you using? You are using air conditioning. You are using microwave. You are using deep freezer. You are using all. So normally, it is the gadgets you use in the room that determines how much you pay bill, and not the size of the building. The size of the building doesn't determine how much you use the power. For example, you can have a single room. Somebody can have his own house, a big house with 10 bedrooms, 20 bedrooms. Doesn't matter. The person might not be living in the house. The person might be working somewhere and only comes weekends. Or the person might be a teacher. When he goes out, he comes back late, or working, have some work that he hardly stays at home. These particular people will not consume much. So if you are living in a single room and the only thing that you do is that maybe your work doesn't send you out. You work in your room. Everything you do is in your room. So always and always you spend more time in your room. You are likely going to spend more bill than the one in the chamber and hall that has a wife. The wife works. The wife leaves in the morning. The husband leaves in the morning. The children go to school and they all come back later in the evening while you are always at home. You have air conditioning. You have microwave. All the best things that, the best gadgets that makes us comfortable. You have them in your room. So once you use them, they consume much. I'm not saying that that might be your case, but normally we don't determine the light bill we give to customers is not determined by the size of the building or the number of people on the meter. It is determined by how you use your gadgets. Look, you can go to a house, a very big house with every room has an air condition. But if no one is staying in the room, if no one is staying there, the house is empty. You don't say because there are air conditioners, the person might get billed at all costs. No. Because they are not in the house or nobody stays in the house, the meter doesn't work. Because the meter needs the, how will I put it? You have to put the gadgets on for it to push the meter to read, for it to push the meter to start reading. So once there's no power that is flowing, then the meter will not read. So somebody can have a house with 20 air conditioners. You see the air conditioners all over the house, but because no one is staying in the room, the meter will not read. But you too, as a poor man or a normal person, you have your own room. It's a single room, but you have all the important gadgets in your room. You have all the important gadgets in your room. I know some places somewhere, I don't want to mention the name, that even kiosks have air conditions. There are air conditions that people put in kiosks and they are living in it. So they have to get more bills. It doesn't mean that because it's a kiosk, the person shouldn't pay light bill. It is because of what is in the kiosk, not the size of the kiosk or not the cost of the kiosk. No, it doesn't work like that. When it comes to electricity bills, it is how you consume the power. Listen, how you consume the power. I remember one of my topics sometime back last year. I mentioned that it is not the number of people